or a better understanding of 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 12 through 16. Exodus 34, chapter 34, verses 29 to 35 describe how Moses put a veil on over his face after speaking with the people, coming off the mountain with God. As glorious as the radiant face of Moses was, it was a fading glory, which glory was passing away. The glory of the Old Testament shining through the face of Moses was a shining glory, but the glory of the New Testament endures without fading. Since our hope is in a more glorious covenant, we can have a more glorious hope. Because of this hope, Paul can use great boldness of speech. The Old Covenant restricted and separated men from God. The New Covenant brings us to God and enables us to come boldly to Him. All right, and then, okay. From reading the account of Exodus chapter 34, verses 39 through 35, one might get the impression that Moses wore a veil after his meetings with God, so that people would not be afraid to come near him. The veil was to protect them from seeing the shining face of Moses. That's what I first thought when I first read it. If you start reading the Old Testament before you get to the New Testament, you might come to that conclusion also. But here Paul explains the real purpose of the veil was not to hide the shining face of Moses, but to hide the diminishing glory of his face, because the glory was fading. The passing glory of the Old Covenant contrasts with the enduring glory of the New Covenant. Since the veil hid the face of Moses, the children of Israel couldn't see any of the glory of his face. Therefore, the contrast isn't only between passing glory and enduring glory, but also between concealed glory and revealed glory. Paul says that most of the Jews of his day could not see the glory of Moses' ministry faded in comparison to the ministry of Jesus. Because the veil remains unlifted, they couldn't see the glory of Moses' ministry has faded, and they should now look to Jesus. Since the same veil that hid Moses' face now lies on their hearts, they still think there is something superior and more glorious in the ministry of Moses. The same could be said about the Gentiles.